Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and talk about a few things, just regular guidelines for the job, considering we never really had an official meeting prior to any of you guys starting work. So I finally wanted to go over that. Now, I did have Kathy put the packets in your guys' mailbox, so you guys can reference that as we go through it. I just wanted to talk to you about the things on that packet. And then if you could do me a favor and sign the bottom of it here, it says employee signature, employee name and date when we're done with this video. And then also there is going to be like a little participation quiz. It's only going to be like 5 questions going over what we talked about, just so I know that you guys actually watched the video. Okay, so it says up top, CF Commercial Industries is committed to the health and safety of all employees, contractors, and subcontractors. In our efforts to make each project hazard-free and provide the safest working conditions possible, we expect all site personnel to learn and practice the following basic safe work rules. The following safety requirements are only highlighting project safety rules. All project safety requirements and applicable OSHA codes are to be strictly followed. See your operations manager for additional information, aka Kennedy. The site safety requirements are as follows. Hard hats and sturdy work boots are required at all times in construction work areas. That's a strict policy. Safety glasses are required per OSHA rules. No sleeveless shirts or shorts are permitted on site. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCI, are required on all electrical outlets or generators if used. All of our stuff is GFCI, just so you know. Immediately report all accidents, injuries, near misses, and unsafe acts, conditions, or practices to your crew leader. Crew leaders must report to safety admin. So that's me, or you can even tell Kennedy and he can tell me within 24 hours. Drug and alcohol use or possession on the job is forbidden and will result in immediate expulsion from the job. All employees are subject to random just cause and post-accident drug testing. You guys already know that, but I just like to reiterate it. Anyone caught under the influence of drugs or alcohol can be immediately terminated without verbal or written warning. Being under the influence can result in dangerous working conditions and will result in immediate termination. Anyone suspected of being under the influence can and will be asked to punch out of work and sent for a drug test at the expense of CF Commercial Industries. No handguns or other concealed weapons on the job. Violation of this will result in prosecution to the full extent of the law. Sexual harassment will not be tolerated. Lewd verbal comments, gestures, whistling, and sexual advancements are not acceptable forms of communication. Any worker caught making these comments and or gestures will be immediately removed from the site. Repeat offenders will be treated accordingly. NIOSH, otherwise known as the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, approved respiratory protection should be worn as needed. Now, Kennedy can provide that if you guys are interested in wearing that. You can just ask him. Protective gloves are recommended to be worn when using materials that cut, burn, or contaminate the skin. Do not climb or work from any handrail, midrail, or brace. Always use a ladder. Inspect all ladders for damage or defects before use. Never straddle a step ladder or stand on the top step. Do not separate extension ladders. Place ladder feet on a secure level surface and tie off at the top. Clean up spills immediately and properly dispose of materials if necessary. Maintain a clear access to safety and fire equipment. Do not refuel gasoline-powered equipment while it's running. So that would go for like pressure washers. Never enter a confined space and or excavation unless a competent person has inspected it and the appropriate protective systems have been provided. Also make sure that you have checked with your crew leader prior to doing so. Equipment and tools must be inspected prior to use. All defective equipment and tools must be tagged do not use and or removed from service. So when you get back to the shop, you can just like take some tape or like a piece of paper and, write on that. Workers will be held accountable for their thoughtless and or deliberate acts that cause injury to themselves or their fellow workers or the materials of others. CF Commercial Industries will consider any recommendation concerning safety from any employee. If you guys have any recommendations, you can always talk to me about it or Kennedy. Fall protection needed at 6 feet, OSHA rule for walk work surfaces, and then 10 feet OSHA rule if using scaffolding in the future, if we end up using that for anything, as well as using a boom lift. Employees are allowed to take a half-hour lunch break if wanting to do so. Speak with your crew leader. Progressive discipline plan. Step 1, verbal warning. We will provide at least one verbal warning. More verbal warnings may be given but are not guaranteed depending on the severity of the offense. Step 2, written warning. Employees will be given a written warning stating the reason for being written up with a signature of a member of management. Employees will be required to sign the written warning stating that they have been given the written warning and understand why they received it. And then step 3 is just termination. All new employees must complete this orientation. If there is an on-site emergency, report to your crew leader immediately. No smoking close to the project site. If needing to smoke, go out by the truck and trailer. High visibility shirts or vests is required at all times. Excessive calling off over 3 times in 3-month period can be subject to termination without verbal or written warning. Improper use of the time clock is considered stealing company time and can result in immediate termination from your position. You're allotted one 15-minute break for every 4-hour shift. You are allowed 2 15-minute breaks for an 8-hour shift with an unpaid 30-minute lunch. And taking photos while on site or of the job site is prohibited. So like I said, just sign here, put your name and date, and then this page is for me. I've explained this orientation in English, native language to this employee or employees. I understand by countersigning the orientation form below that I've explained the above mentioned requirements and that they are understood. And then I'll sign these and date them when I get them back from you guys, and file them in our filing system. And if you guys have any questions, just, text me or call me. I'm trying to think. Oh, also, there is in the quiz that you guys are going to be taking a special code for the quiz. It's 1324. I repeat, 1324, just so I know that you guys watched the video. That is one of the questions on the quiz. And then I will have a link to the quiz at the bottom in the description of the YouTube video.